This is why I check to make sure things are working. Now can you hear me? Yes, cool. Hello. Sorry, I'm not really late. I don't really have a schedule, so. But I'm later than normal. I was working on stuff for art this morning, and then I got really into a video I was watching and then needed to eat lunch before we did anything. I say lunch, but it was my breakfast. But how is everyone? I'm doing all right. I'm almost done with this work schedule. So next week we'll go back to being streaming on Wednesdays, which will be nice. This location isn't hard, it's just a lot of work. Work as in, it's like, I think it's double what I normally do a week. So it's just a lot, even though the location's not hard. Oh, that reminds me. Write this down before I forget again. There we go. But besides almost being done with this work schedule, I've also finished rewatching Darker Than Black. It's still really good. I still really enjoy season 1. Season 2 I thought was god awful, so I'm not going to rewatch that. Finally got around to repotting some plants. That probably needed to be done like a week and a half ago. Oh, speaking of things that should have been done way earlier than they were, my car fob's battery was dying pretty badly. Put that off for like a month. I finally did that a few days ago, not realizing we had extra batteries for it. I could have done it much earlier than I did. I'm glad I checked. We had like 3 packs of batteries for him. So, like I said, if I knew we had batteries, I could have done it as soon as it was starting to fail on me. But nice that I didn't have to buy batteries too. It would be nice to get rid of this car and get something else. I hate this car so much. But that is not a priority. What else? Oh. I bought a bundle off Ichio that had a bunch of different games and a bunch of different things. It was a bunch of different people collabed to make this bundle for donating or to buy stuff for Gaza. So I bought it. Finally looked through that. There actually seems some good games that we actually might play on stream from the bundle. And then I got a few more, like 3 more games off Steam. They were relatively cheap, so we are just stockpiling on games again, which is whatever. That's what normally happens. I buy a ton of games and then not touch anything for years on end. But we're almost done with this game. We have 3 more endings to do. I think I finally fixed to get the one achievement you need to get a good ending without what is it called? Without having the right choice indicator on. So I think I fixed the issue for that. So hopefully we get it once we do Rumpel, that's his name. I was having such a hard time remembering his name, because he's the only good ending we still need to do. I might be able to get it afterwards if I can't, but it's the only achievement that we're really having an issue with. But once we finish Fritz's bad ending, we're gonna play Disgaea. And I like Disgaea, I've just never finished any of the games. So we're gonna actually finish one of them. I think that's all I had to update. Yeah, so we'll jump in. Are you gonna load? Hello? Hello? Why is it doing this? Is it working on your end? Because it does not look like it's working on my end. No. Why? Oh, God. I don't know why it's... Let's just delete this and remake it. Yeah, okay. OBS pisses me off to no end sometimes. Okay. Continue. Like I said, I think I did fix it. So while I was fixing it, I got rid of all the Whatever. I forgot to grab water too. Oh well. When I get thirsty, I'll go get water. I am in town with Waltz because Parfait needed supplies for her potions, and we were the only ones available to get them for her. I don't know why I feel on edge. Don't worry, princess. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Though, you wouldn't even have to be here if Lady Parfait hadn't placed so many orders. I do not understand why she has to get everything today. Surely she can just pick up the rest tomorrow. If she was more patient, I wouldn't have needed to go out at all today. I forgot to turn the audio on for you guys. There you go. We'll just reload. Lady Parfait's been receiving a lot of orders lately. She needs to keep up with the demand somehow. Let's make this quick. I like how they just gloss over, like, Lady Parfait's busy. Like, she's obviously making potions. But what are these potions? They just gloss over it. Like, it doesn't matter. She's just a busy fairy. Who cares? Of course. My eyes wandered to the shop right in front of me. This would be the place. How can I help? Oh, it's you. This is the witch who came into the merchant some time ago with mud on her shoes. What can I do for you two? We need all the items on this list, please. Waltz holds out the list Parfait gave him. The witch surveys the list and then gives a thoughtful nod. I'll collect these for you right away. It'll only be a moment. The witch disappears into her back room. I fold my arms as we wait, my thoughts drifting. We'll be finished before you know it, princess. Well, look who it is. Hello again, little girl. And it seems like you're here again with your little friend. These are the men who tried to rob me back when I was on the streets. Waltz quickly steps in front of me as if to shield me from the men. How can he even protect me? She cleans up all right, doesn't she? Almost don't recognize her all neat. What do you want? Us, we don't want anything. We don't want nothing. But we heard there's someone who wants you. And they're willing to pay more money than we could ever have. What? Ever gotten from you. I don't know why that was hard to read. The man reaches out to grab me, but Waltz slaps his hand away. The man's unwashed stench reaches my nose, and I try not to gag. Don't touch her. Oh, what's this? The witch reappears at the door, and the men back off slightly when she appears. None of your business. I think it is. These people are my customers. Stay out of this, hag. Hag. I'm slightly startled when the witch leans forward and whispers to us. Listen, you both start running, okay? You run as fast as you can and don't stop for anyone. You need to get back to the margin. But don't worry about me. I'll distract them for as long as I can, but you need to run. Go. Hey, look alive, boys. This one itches. Waltz grasps my hand and pulls me with him as we run, not even turning back to look when we hear the shatter of glass. She is a witch. Why would she help us? Because she's a good witch, princess. I'm sure that she is only helping us because she wants to keep us indebted to her. We continue running against a current of people. I manage to keep up with Waltz for a time, but it is not long before my hand slips out of his and I am lost to the crowd. The minute I am separated from Waltz, I stop. Panic begins to well up inside of me. Waltz! I frantically look around at the crowd, trying to find him, but I fail. I think I said this last time, but Waltz is a child in a crowd. You're not gonna see him over the heads of everyone else. And we can't be that tall. Most women are 5'5". Obviously you're not gonna see him. I need to get back to the merchant. Slowly, it dawns on me that I am in a part of town that I do not recognize. I do not know my way around this area. I knew leaving the merchant was a bad idea. When I see Parfait again, I will give her a piece of my mind. I found her. I immediately turn on my heels and run as fast as I can. I am so panicked I cannot see what is in front of me. I do not notice the man in front of me until I crash into him. I prepare to fall, but the man has braced himself just before I crashed into him. We both somehow managed to remain upright. Excuse me, princess? This voice. I look up in shock. Fritz? It's really you. Princess, how does he remember who I am? There she is. I have no time to think about it now. I grab his arm and pull him with me into a run. So we know Fritz is cursed with whatever. I don't remember what his curse is. But he was cursed so Sir Alacaster could overthrow the king. And we know this plot has gone on for a long time. So does that mean Fritz has been cursed for a long time? Or was he recently cursed? And that's why we're just meeting, I can't think of his alter ego, his name. It would be interesting to, just little tidbits like that would have been interesting to learn about. But while we're here just talking, how do you think Fritz's bad ending's gonna be? Obviously, Fritz is gonna be taken over. But are we gonna kill Fritz? Are we gonna die? That's kind of how these endings have been going, is we either kill the love interest or we die somehow. I think out of the two, I think it's gonna be, they're gonna count Fritz's death as just having him being taken over versus us killing him or us dying, which will be kind of lame, but I think after doing so many of these routes, it's kind of the way I think it's gonna turn out to be. Ugh. Why are we running? Somehow he is barely out of breath despite how long we've been running. It sent a sliver of irritation through me. I think those men want to sell me? What? I shake my head as I try to tug him forward again. However, Fritz does not budge. Princess? This is very irritating. We must keep moving. I see her. Oh no. I am surprised that our pursuers have been able to keep up with us. Like, they were just... They seemed like just vagabonds off the street, like no former... I think this is their first kidnapping, so they have no training. How many people just go out and be runners for something like this? Like, oh, you know what? I want to just have great stamina just in case one day someone comes up and offers me a ton of money just to kidnap someone off the street. Not many. So I'm surprised they've kept up with us so well, or we have no stamina and Fritz is just kind of like jogging along next to us. Wait, Fritz is a knight. I trust you can manage these two fools with one hand behind my back. With a nod and a confident smile, he turns to face the oncoming men. He moves to stand in front of me, effectively shielding me with his body. 2-on-1. I don't think you stand a chance, boy. They're so confident, even though Fritz obviously has a sword. Like, oh yeah, I could totally take you on. We've got no business with you. We just want the girl. Run on home. She'll be more trouble than this is worth. You'll have to get through me first, huh? And are you going to stop us with this? Oh, how are you going to stop us? First, Fritz brandishes his sword and smiles at them. Fritz is second only to his father, Sir Alcester, in his ability with the sword. His skill is obvious just in the way he holds his blade. Waving around a sword isn't gonna scare us away this time. The girl is worth enough gold to sort out any scratches we might get. Yes, because a sword can't cut through limbs or anything like that. Just mild, paper cuts. It's perfectly fine. Any closer and I'll do more than scratch you. Get him. The fight is over as quickly as it started. I cannot keep up with Fritz's movements at first, but when I am able to focus on him again, the two men are completely immobilized. One is sprawled on the ground with Fritz's foot firmly planted on his back. The other is collapsed against the wall of the alleyway, with the tip of Fritz's sword pressed against his neck. You wanted to question them? Fritz is completely unscathed. I turn to look at the man against the wall, thinking he might be more capable of speech at this time. Who is going to pay you? I'd answer her. I watch as Fritz presses his sword against the man's neck, enough to draw a gasp out of him. It was a witch. A witch? Fritz insists... Waltz insists the witches we meet were good, but this is just further proof that witches will always be inherently wicked. I think I've mentioned this before, but Lucetta is very racist. Like, at least she slowly learns sometimes that you can't just generalize the whole race of people to be either good or bad. But it takes her a long time in most routes. It was a witch, I swear. We got a note with your picture. Then it burned to pieces right before our eyes once we read it. What did the note say? Just to get you to the witch. in one piece. That payment would come when that happens. How much was the payment? Answer me. 1,000 gold pieces. A whole 1,000. 1,000 gold pieces would be enough to feed a family for years, princess. Not just anyone would have that kind of wealth. They would have to be nobility, royalty even. A lot of these like fantasy and older like historic like games always say like gold pieces. How much is a gold piece like worth? Obviously it's one piece of gold, but are we talking like a nugget piece of gold here, or are we talking more like what you see a lot of times now when you go look at gold? It's like little flakes of gold. Are we talking like one little flake of gold? Are witches disguising themselves as members of the aristocracy now? Princess, yes? What do you want to do with these two? I look at the men and feel something icy run through my veins. These men were going to abduct me. There's no telling what they would have done to me if they had caught me. Please, don't beg. What would your son say if he heard you? He has a family? That doesn't matter. Even if I had mentioned my family, it would not make much a difference. Wait, what did you do to her? Do to who? The woman at the shop. What did you do to her? Nothing that can't be fixed. Did you hurt her? When neither of the men answered me, I frowned. I don't know why that witch was trying to save me, but she did try. These men cannot get away with doing whatever they wish. Answer me. What did you do to her? Nothing that won't heal. I like how he just repeats it. Like, yeah, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The anger that was nothing but a small flame burns full force in my chest. They do not deserve mercy. No they don't. We're gonna punish them. Like, if you're gonna do bad things, like, expect it to happen to you at some point. They are not good men. They must be punished. How dare they think they can get away with it? Fritz, yes, make sure they pay for what they did. I may not be good, but I would never harm another person. There are consequences to harming others. Fritz, princess, I can't. They will survive. Fritz and I leave the men behind in the alleyway. I sigh in relief when the scenery around me becomes more familiar. From here, I can probably find my way back to the margin. Fritz is so unusually quiet that I barely notice him as I become wrapped up in my thoughts. What does a witch want with me? As far as I know, I have never done anything to a witch. Princess, I'm startled when Fritz talks. Yes? I wasn't expecting you to ask that those men be punished. They will heal. I said punish? Like, I was expecting him to, like, handcuff them and take them. To be on trial, not, hey, I want you to beat them up for me. What if the woman in the shop didn't want revenge? I look at him questioningly. Why wouldn't she? What if she would have preferred that you showed them mercy? They deserved what they got. Mercy after what they did to an innocent woman? What they were gonna do to me? Like, they're not innocent. But did they deserve to just be beaten to a pulp? Probably not. like I said, I was expecting them to be put on trial. There is no reason they should be let off without any punishment. I notice Fritz fidgeting. It is a sure sign that he has something else he wants to say. What is it? Where have you been, princess? One day you just suddenly disappeared. No one in the palace seemed to remember you at all. Why am I the only person who can remember you? Could Fritz be... Are you cursed, Fritz? Fritz looks shocked. Are you talking about the fairy tale curse? Yes. No, of course not. What makes you think that I am? I like how insistent he is of denying. No, absolutely not. Cannot be cursed. Will not, We won't play with this idea at all. If he is not cursed, how else could he know who I am? Are you a witch or a fairy? Fritz stares at me if I've grown another head. I don't understand why you're asking me this, princess. I am definitely human. Could it be that he is somehow unaware of the conditions of his curse? I must speak with Delora and Parfait about this. Princess, what's going on? Princess, I need to get to the merchant as quickly as possible so I can speak to Parfait and Delora about what Fritz's curse might be. Things like this sentence in general, does not need to be here at all. Like, we already established Fritz must be cursed, so we'll go talk to Parfait and Delora about what it could be. This is not a action game where it's like, okay, if you miss the dialogue, we'll repeat it so you like actually know what your objective is and actually walk to the objective. It's just we're just reading what's going on. Like, we don't need this at all. Like, we were already on our way to the merchant. We already established we need to talk to Parfait and Delora about what Fritz's curse could be. We don't need this dialogue. So I think if they cut out a lot of these like repeating lines, this game would be just slightly more smoother and not as long. Like, it really does not need to be like, I think it's like 3 hours. I think most people, it's like 3 hours per, or to finish a character's good and bad ending. If you're reading it all, at least. Fritz is probably looking for me as well. Then abruptly, Fritz puts himself in front of me, blocking my path. What are you doing? I could ask you the same thing. Where are you going? I am returning to the merchant. The merchant? It's a tavern for the cursed. I've been living there. Princess, are you saying you've been cursed? Oh, I forgot I haven't told him yet. Princess, I need answers, please. I suppose you will not let me leave without an explanation. Not after you suddenly disappeared like that. Very well. Delora and Parfait will just have to wait. Fritz is convinced the only place I will be safe is his house, and I am not in the mood to argue with him. I look around the modest living room. I did not realize that you have had lodges outside of your room in the palace. I grew up here. I was older than usual when I started training to be a knight, so I spent a lot of time in this house. He walks over and hands me a mug of tea. Wait, going back. This is just a weird thing to say. Like, what did Lucetta think? That Fritz grew up in the palace too? Because, like, his mother's never mentioned or anything. So it would be assumed that she's not, like, obviously not a knight, but probably not a wait staff either. So, like, they would have to have some type of lodgings outside the palace. I don't know. Lucetta's kind of dumb. The comforting scent of it, and the realization that he had made it precisely as I prefer, makes something loosen inside of me. Fritz sits opposite me, his eyes bright and focused. Start from the beginning. Please, princess, I need to know in order to put my mind at ease. One night, I was in the palace, and the next morning, I was on the street dressed in rags. I tell him about no one remembering who I am, and about my first encounter with the man that Fritz fought in the alleyway. I tell him how I was saved by those at the margin. Yet I say nothing about Delora or Parfait, and I deliberately leave out the identities of the marching boarders. I'm not sure why exactly, but I feel suspicion tugging insistently at me. How is it possible for someone to be unaware of their curse? Rumpel has amnesia, and even he knows he is cursed. Fritz said that he is human. I can trust him, right? I close my eyes and will the impending headache away. Maybe Mother was right. Maybe it is impossible to trust anyone, including my knight. What is your curse, princess? Can I trust you, Fritz? It's getting kind of toasty in the room. There we go. Fritz does not even bother trying to mask his shock. There is a sadness in his eyes. When have I ever betrayed you, your highness? Fritz has been loyal to me ever since he was assigned to me, but every person I've trusted turned on me apart from Mother. Even my beloved doll betrayed me. How can I be sure that Fritz will not do the same? I swore on my life I would protect you, princess. I would never lie to you, or do anything that would put you in harm's way. Cinderella, I have to complete 3 good deeds to break it. Cinderella, are you sure that fairy tale is about? It's been reversed in my case. Oh, that makes sense. What will you do now? Return to the merchant. I must break my curse. I can't allow that, unless I stay at the merchant with you. What? Why? I've been wondering where you were this whole time, princess, trying to find you. And now that I found you, I must resume my duties. I need to protect you, and I want to make sure you are safe by staying with you. You are no longer my knight, Fritz. You work for Emily now, don't you? I am not her personal knight. I work in shifts with her other guards, so I'm not expected to stay the whole day. Besides that, I am your knight, and I intend to fulfill that role until you no longer need my services. I failed to protect you from being cursed. Let me protect you this time, princess. Fritz is very capable. No doubt he will be able to protect me better than anyone else at the margin. And who knows how many people received the witch's note. The witch wouldn't even need to enter the margin herself, so long as she has others there to capture me. No matter where I am not safe, especially when I have no idea who I can trust. Stay here, stay with me. I'll be able to be with you. I'll keep you safe. It won't be for long, just until I can get you back into the palace where you belong. And how will you do that? Nobody apart from the cursed and the witches and the fairies remember that I am the crown princess. I still remember you. You must be cursed as well, Fritz. There's no other explanation. I would think I'd remember if I'd been cursed, princess. I would be inclined to agree, even Rumpel. See, like this. We don't need this extra sentence. But then, what could Fritz's fairy tale be? I hadn't truly intended to stay with Fritz, but somehow the day passes by without me noticing. Before I knew it, night has fallen. It is far too late to attempt to return to Marchen on my own, even if, for some reason, Fritz allows me to leave his house. You can stay in the guest room, Princess. My father returns here at night after his duties for the day are over. I almost forgot. Sir Alacaster, Fritz's father, and the commander of the Order of Caldria. I thought he had his own room at the palace like you do. My father never stays the night at the palace as far as I know. He always comes back to sleep here no matter how late he leaves the palace, or how early he has to get up to return there. And he just walks in right as we talk about him. Good evening, father. Alacaster looks at me, then Fritz. Who is this? The weight of his stare makes me feel like looking away, but I manage to stare back at him coolly. This is Lucetta, daughter of King Gennaro III, and crown princess of the kingdom of Angelia. I'm not in the mood for games, boy. It's the truth. I told you about her when she disappeared, that she'd been forgotten. Nonsense. She's been forgotten because of the fairy tale curse. Sir Alacaster's eyes are cold and calculating. I do not like the way he is looking at me. What is your fairy tale? I do not want to tell him. Sir Alacaster's gaze grows colder as his question is met by a long stretch of silence. I only relent when I see Fritz about to answer for me. Cinderella, I trust you will break your curse, princess. Sir Alacaster says nothing more, and I am surprised when he simply walks away into the bedroom and away from us. The door closes behind him and Fritz and I are left alone. It'll make things easier if he believes us. I saw the look in his eyes. I doubt he believes us. It would be too simple. Sleep does not come easy, even though this bed is significantly more comfortable than the bed at the Marchen. What could Fritz's curse be? I sit up in bed when I hear footsteps outside. I stare at the clock. It is almost 2 a.m. You are late. My apologies. That is Sir Alacaster's voice, but I do not recognize the other one. Come, we have much to discuss. The sound of their footsteps slowly fade and silence descends once more. I suppose being the commander of the Order of Caldria means that he's always busy, but working at this time? Soon enough, my exhaustion coaxed me back into slumber. I closed my eyes and let my desire to sleep win over my curiosity. It's true, she definitely takes after you-know-who. I heard that rather than speak to people, she only ever speaks to her dolls. I can believe that. She seems a little weird in the head. She is so strange. I can't believe she's going to be queen one day. Oh, good morning, Your Highness. Please excuse us. Despite my exhaustion, my sleep is brief, with all the thoughts whirling through my mind. When I feel it is late enough, I finally step out of bed and make my way towards the living room. Sir Alacaster and Fritz are both there, but they fall silent at my entry. Sir Alacaster, Princess, are you leaving for the palace? Yes. Will you be able to get the princess back into the palace? Oops. I will inform Mythos of the situation. Sir Mythos? But father, Sir Mythos won't... I like how he says Sir Mythos, like he has any sway in getting the princess back or not, instead of the king. Mythos will work as quickly as possible to resolve this. In the meantime, she will be safe here, won't she? I'm standing close enough to Fritz that I notice his body posture stiffen. I see the way he clenches his hands into fists and the way he squares his shoulders. Of course she is. I am her knight. Then there is no problem. You and Sir Alacaster don't seem very close. Fritz sighs. He looks somewhat flustered, though it doesn't seem to be out of embarrassment. Princess, should I have not said anything? Let's press the issue. I notice the way he speaks to you in the palace, and I never see the two of you together. I didn't think you would notice. Why, you're my knight. I spend a lot of time with you, so of course I am aware of how others treat you. I also know what it's like to be distant from your own family. If you do not wish to speak of such matters, you do not need to. Thank you, Princess. Fritz clears his throat before he turns to me. His smile is so bright it seems to light up his face. Would you like some breakfast? I happen to know the best bakery in all of Angelia sells... I happen to know where the best baker in all of Angelia sells her croissants. The thought of croissants make my mouth water. I'm at the door in seconds. What are you standing around for? I'm hungry. We'll leave at once then. The shortest route to the bakery from Fritz's house leads us past the palace gates. Princess, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... Fritz's voice fades into the background when I notice the royal family eating their breakfast outside. Emily sits underneath the shade of a cherry blossom tree, reading aloud from a book in her hands. Rod is smiling as he pours tea for all of them, and Ophelia is looking on with clear love in her eyes for the family that surrounds her. The king laughs at something Emily is saying. He looks happier than I have ever seen him before. They truly are happier now that I do not exist with them. Father had never once looked at me the way he looks at them. They can't miss what they don't remember. I'm sorry for bringing you here. I should have known it would be difficult. How could you have known? You're my charge. It's my job to know. Exactly how much does he know about me? I realize we have been walking as Fritz talks. The palace gates are well behind us, and the royal family is thankfully out of earshot. Here we are, the varieties of breads and pastries in the window of the bakery make my heart skip a beat. It's been a long time since I've seen such a delicious looking pastry. Pick anything you want, Princess. Anything. Whatever you want. I know how much you like your pastries. Maybe I'll finally see you smile. What? Go on in, Princess. I'll be right behind you. Fritz and I returned to his home to eat our pastries. They truly are the best croissants I've ever had. As we come to the end of breakfast, Fritz turns to me, a hesitant expression on his face. Princess? Yes? I hate to say this, but I'm expected at the palace today. I'm afraid I have to ask you to stay here on your own. But the people at the merchant, I was planning on returning today to explain why I haven't been back, but it's not safe for you outside. I understand, but there are people I must see. I will not stay here for much longer. Can I really not change your mind about staying here? I know that Fritz can certainly keep me safe, but I cannot shake the feeling that I am safer at the merchant, even if it means having to stay with the witch. Even if it means staying with the witch that cursed me. When I do not answer, Fritz sighs and shakes his head. Very well. I will ask for a day off so I can personally escort you back to this merchant. Tomorrow. Sorry. Take me back tomorrow. Tomorrow, then. I spend the day looking around the house. This home is so impersonal. You never know. 2 different people live here. The rooms are so empty. Even I had dolls in my room. As I walk around the living room, I notice Broom standing forgotten and alone in a corner. I suddenly remember the broom Delora enchanted for me. I do not miss that broom, but this one could definitely use a ribbon. Princess. Fritz, that was fast. I have something for you. I found this doll in my room at the palace. She's one of yours, isn't she? The Delora doll was still in my room, but how? She is. I thought so. Isn't she one of your favorites? She was, until she cursed me. How did she get into your room? No idea. Perhaps one of the maids left her there. But I thought you'd like it if I brought her back for you. After finishing dinner, Fritz excuses himself to run more errands, so I return to my room. Earlier, when Fritz had given her to me, I threw Delora on my bed. Now, I turn to glare at her, and all at once the doll comes alive with a sigh. Would you believe me if I said I was worried? I honestly thought you were going to act like you didn't recognize me. It made me happy you said I was your favorite, Lucetta. You were my favorite. You wound me, princess. What are you doing here? Do you have any idea how worried Parfait was? When Waltz came back alone and told us what happened, well, Parfait and Annie's went into hysterics. The boys and Durin looked like they were going to commit murder. When you didn't come back that night, I had a lot of trouble convincing everyone to stay at the Merchant when they wanted to look for you. Especially Waltz. You have no idea how guilty he felt after losing you like that. They were looking for me? Princess? Why didn't you come back to the Merchant? I was going to, but Fritz is overprotective. I know it's not... Hush. Don't hush. I stop myself when I hear footsteps just outside the door. This is entirely unnecessary. The walls have ears, Sir Alacaster. The 2 men walk away, leaving the hallway silent. That is just another one of Sir Alacaster's late-night errands. But my words sigh in my throat when I turn to Delora and see that she is eerily silent, and her forehead is furrowed. This presence, Delora, it is weak, but it's there. I can feel it. What are you talking about? Finally, Delora looks at me slowly, as if now recognizing we are both in the same room. This is bad. We must return to the Merchant. Now. I don't know how far we're gonna get today. I am kinda sleepy. I've been up really early. We'll try to get through one more chapter, but I don't know how far we'll get. I watch as Delora paces the floor along the side of the bed. You're a witch. Can't you just teleport us out of here? Teleportations and portals are high-level magic that only the bears and a select few can cast. I look at her closely. So you cannot cast the spell. would have casted it already if I could, princess. I'd thought, with all the bluffing you do, that you could be more capable. Any more sass and I'll turn you into a toad. You wouldn't dare, or would I? I glare at her, but she does not look away. Arguing will not get us out of here. We need to get back to the merchant. Why can't we just ask Fritz to help us? It would be easier that way. It would also have cut out a big portion if we went to Fritz's room, found out, oh no, Fritz is not there. I do not understand why he can't come with us. I don't trust him. That means nothing coming from someone as untrustworthy as you. Well, I can say with certainty that I am the most trustworthy person you have right now, dear princess. And I can also promise that you are not safe here. Then I insist Fritz comes with us. I know he has the curse, which means he should be welcome there. No, until I can prove that he can be trusted, he is not welcome. He might be the same as Alacaster. The moment Delora mentions Sir Alacaster, she suddenly stops speaking. She shakes her head and turns away. What does Sir Alacaster have to do with this? Nothing you should concern yourself with. You are still the most suspicious one here, which, that's it. I've run out of patience. I'm done waiting around, princess. We're going to the merchant right now. And what do you suppose... And how do you suppose we'll sneak past Fritz? Delora smiles at me. The mischief in that smile is all too familiar. Oh no, I am a witch princess. I walk alongside Delora as we make our way back to the merchant. Delora is now in her human form, humming cheerfully. Not what you were expecting? No. Sometimes simple is best. Why use a spell when a potion will do the trick? That's why she had me distract Fritz at dinner. Was the sleeping potion in his cup? Ah, perceptive. Nothing can wake him from his slumber, but he will wake up. Please, I'm a good witch, remember? I don't do the killing thing. Now pick up the pace, princess. We have a meeting to get to. We make it back to the merchant without incident. Durin and Garland are waiting for us inside. As soon as they see us, they dart towards the door. You made it. We were worried that we might need to break in to get you both out. Don't sound so surprised. I told you I could handle this. Then why did it take you so long to return here? Because someone else was being stubborn and refused to leave without her knight. You weren't followed? Of course not. I'm very glad you're all right, princess. Fritz is my personal knight this time. The time I spent with him was the safest I've felt since I've been cursed. It felt more normal. I know he is dependable and will do whatever I ask of him. It's his job to protect me after all. I barely know these people. I would rather be with Fritz, but something about Sir Alacaster puts me on edge. As you can see, the princess is perfectly fine. She hasn't thawed at all. Durin ignores Delora and fixes her gaze on me. We were worried about you. We were very worried when you suddenly disappeared, princess. I stared at her, confused. What is there to be worried about? I was with Fritz. I know that the circumstances may not have been the best, but Fritz protected me. I had plans to return the merchant at some point. Why does everyone care what happened to me anyway? Where is Parfait? Well, she isn't here. She's barely been back since you left. What? Ever since we got your message that you found the princess, Lady Parfait's been absent from the merchant.
She returned, but only briefly. Does she always say where she goes? No, she wouldn't answer even if someone asked. She smiles the fairy smile of hers and says nothing at all. Drives me crazy when she does that. What's going on? So the fairy we need to see isn't here. I had thought that I wanted to return here, but now that everyone knows I'm safe, it is fine to return to Fritz, isn't it? I feel uneasy being around so many people that are openly keeping secrets from me. Then there is no reason for me to be in here. I can return to Fritz. No, you are in no position to order me around. I will go back, and no one will stop me. I begin walking towards the door when I hear Dolores sigh heavily behind me. All right, keep your dress on. I wasn't planning on removing it. It's a figure of... Oh, never mind. Look, just give me a few seconds, okay? I need to get some things and then we'll go back. Don't even think that I'll let you go back alone, princess. I was left alone with Duran and Garland. Are you really staying at Alacaster's house? I almost forgotten that Duran and Garland had served under Sir Alacaster's command when they were still in the Order of Caldria. Yes, the two former knights are uncharacteristically quiet. Their expressions dark. Is something wrong? Are you sure you feel safe there, princess? Of course, Fritz has been my personal knight for the last 3 years. I know that he was protecting me no matter what. Just be careful around Sir Alacaster. Did something happen between you and Sir Alacaster? I'd still be part of the Order of Caldria if it weren't for him. It is said that they had been discharged for disobeying Sir Alacaster's orders, but is that the whole truth? He's a two-faced traitor. If I ever saw him again... Duran, what happened? It's nothing to worry about, princess. Dolores told me the same thing. What exactly are they hiding about Sir Alacaster? She should be worried about it, damn it. Of all the people in Angelia, she should know what he is planning. Someone coughs. We turn to see Dolores standing there looking at us expectantly. What I missed. Duran was telling me about why she left. Was she? I have never seen Dolores glare at anyone the way she's glaring at Duran. Eventually, the former knight turns away. Let's go, Duran. Stay safe, princess. You too, Lady Dolores. Don't you want to return to the knight's house? Why are you stalling now? You know something about Sir Alacaster being the reason for the knight's discharge, don't you? Yes. Well then, why are you insisting on keeping it a secret? You have lived in the palace before and heard the rumors. You were constant with them. Why are you seriously talking? Why are you suddenly taking so much interest in all of this now? Because you and the knights are clearly hiding something about him. Curiosity can kill a cat, little princess. Besides, none of this is important right now. You have other things to focus on, like breaking your curse. What have you done these past few days? Nothing, that's what. It's like you want to remain Little Miss Peasant forever. The only reason I am in this position is because of you. And you have done nothing to help me. Excuse me? All I have ever gotten from you are insults and snide remarks. I've been trying my best, but you, of all people, should know how difficult it is for me. I stopped talking at once. The anger and frustration inside of me makes it difficult to form words. Delora has been with me for almost a year now. She should know how difficult it is for me to be good, but she never understood. She still cursed me. It's as if she's mocking me. I turn away from Delora and head towards the door. Wait. I've better things to do than get insulted by a witch. I have done nothing but think about how to break the curse she put on me. How dare she? Princess. Let's stop. Are you alright? It's been so long. You're not hurt, are you? He takes my arm gently. Come on, it's not safe for you to be outside. Let's head back inside. I dig my heels into the ground and shove off his hand. I refuse to go back. Why? There's no point in my return. Things would have been easier if Delora had never found me in the first place. Princess. You found her. Karma is suddenly standing before me, smiling with relief. We were worried about you, darling. It's good to see that our princess has returned. We have so much to catch up on. You should come inside. I'm not going back there. Why not? There's no point. I have been perfectly safe in a different place. I think Delora has something to do with this situation. What did she say to you, princess? Nothing she didn't need to hear. That was a cute little interaction between all three of us. I'm glad we got to see that. Insufferable witch sounds like a cat fight to me. Karma, you might want to keep your nose out of other people's business. I'm not staying here any longer. You cannot stop me from leaving. I turn on my heels, begin to walk off. Princess, let her go. What? But outside she needs some space to think. Don't go too far though, princess. Are you deaf? I said I'm not coming back. You will if you value your life, princess. I cannot quell the irritation stirring in the pit of my stomach. I turn on my heels and walk off. It's so peaceful here at night. The sound of approaching footsteps make me stop. Standing out here alone in the darkened plaza does not bode well. I quickly slide into an alleyway and stand with my back to the wall, hoping the shadows will keep me from sight. Why are you following me? That voice from the other night. You noticed? Sir Allicaster? Don't think I'm a useless idiot like that boy. Of course I noticed. I would take care in remembering that me and the boy are nothing alike. Don't think you can fool me, Varg. I have to know. I move silently, sticking my head out at an angle so I can see the man standing before Sir Allicaster. The palace is empty except for the two people. Sir Allicaster is looking at the man who wears an elaborate mask. I notice he also carries an odd-looking cane. That must be Varg. But who is he and how does Sir Allicaster know him? I've never seen anyone like him in the palace before. What would I want to fool you for? And then explain why you're out when... explain why you're out here when haven't been ordered to come to the plaza. Tell me. You wanted the princess safe, didn't you? Don't be flippant. You know we serve mythos in this. What does Sir Mythos want? Is the princess not in the house? Would I be out here if she was? Don't be smart with me. Sir Allicaster just punched him like it was nothing. How is he standing? That blow should have knocked him to the ground. Answer me clearly. Has she left the house? Sir Allicaster's voice is eerily calm and level despite the fact that he His body is still tense. Yes. You will find her before dawn. I will not repeat myself. Answer me. Yes, I will find her. Good. I watch as Sir Alcester walks away, leaving Varg to stand alone in the darkened alley. I can barely breathe as I stand watching him, waiting for some kind of movement. It looks like Sir Alcester has ordered him to keep me safe, but I don't know if this arrangement But I didn't know of this arrangement and do not trust him. The sound of shattered glass echoes across the plaza. Varg immediately rushes off to investigate, moving away from my hiding spot. I feel myself instinctively follow after him, despite my mind's logical protest. Hush. Delora places her hand on my mouth to muffle my voice. We both watch Varg until he disappears, and there's nothing but silence for company. Then and only then does Delora move her hand away from my mouth. That man. Did you catch his name? What? His name? Sir Alcester called him Varg. Varg. Who is he? Judging by the mask and the cane, he probably works for the witches. At least, that's what Parfait and I think. Looks like he's working for Sir Alcester too. Okay, I really did want to get further in this chapter, but I am struggling to stay awake right now. So I think we are going to call it here. We might do an extra stream Monday, just as a catch up, because I was expecting to get further than I did today. But like I said, I am struggling to stay awake right now. So thank you all for joining this very short stream. I will see you all next week. Bye.